I have a hearing aid, Zeke can't talk anymore, and Cohh actually goes on vacations these days.
Oh my God, where have I been, dude?
Things have changed.
There's some drama in the League world.
Drama in the League world?
I'm not talking about the Reckles drama. I'm talking about the fact that Riot came out and has taken away some free skins, and the League community is very fucking pissed off about this.
I heard about this. There was
Why?
there was a way for players to work a bunch in game and get skins.
Yeah,
And
the
apparently
Hextech chest.
so many people did it that they were like, we're gonna go ahead and take this out. The worst part is they tried to come up with reasons that were like obviously not the reasons.
It had been in the
It's
game
just-
for about 9 years,
Yeah,
right? It had been in the game for a very long time, and they put out a video that's just like, guys, we realized that people were getting skins too fast because they were just farming these Hextech chests, and
For the record, was the exact purpose of the Hextech
That was-
chest
yes.
to
Right.
do
Yes.
exactly what they were doing.
yes, and they exactly what Cohh said. And they put out. It felt so bad because it was two people that are like, they're very involved.
This is about ensuring the sustainable long-term health of League, though. And we do hope this is helpful context for those of you who've been wondering what our thinking was with this change. We want to ensure League remains a great, fully free-to-play game. We believe a change like this, while unpopular, is the right call and allows us to deliver not just on our plans today, but also our plans for League in the future.
It went about as
yikes.
well as you could expect. People are not happy, and they were like, "Yeah, so we don't make that much money." And our player base has been pretty good the past couple of years, but we're making a lot less money, and so we're gonna remove this thing, and now you're gonna have to buy more skins if you want them.
It's a weird situation because those are companies that need to make a lot of money. They not
Yes.
only support a lot of people, but there's people that have money in that company that could care less about the game they make. They're just there to make more money. And you got to keep those people happy. So it's like if a game company like that does run into a situation in a live service game where they are no longer making the money they need to, is it okay for them to do things that they need to do to make more money and keep everyone happy? Yes.
Yeah,
I would say the answer to that is yes. I guess the next question is, how do you go about doing that?
right. Well,
Maybe
it's-
that's where they kind of dropped the ball. Like maybe it would have been a lot better, for instance, if they would have said, okay, moving forward, we're going to start restricting the skins you can do over time. We're going to take 5 away this week and 5 away next week. And so get all your time in now if you want to get them. I feel like there would have been ways to do this to not only be transparent, but also actually get goodwill from the community. I see a lot of people in chat saying you don't ever take away free-to-play things from free-to-play games. But again, you have to, nothing matters if the people that are putting money into the project decide they're not making enough to keep putting money into it and the whole thing shuts down. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes. We don't know who is in this and at what amounts. So it's not really fair to say stuff like that. If potentially we could be talking about the reason that they pulled this skin was because behind the scenes, someone was like, if you don't start making more money, I'm out. In which case they were like, shit, okay, well maybe we got to do something right now. We don't know this stuff. So especially if they're being transparent about the fact that they're losing money, it's not generally something you want to say out loud. That's the quiet part. Because that has a lot of other connotations, especially to people who are giving you money. I don't think League is one of those games. I don't think they're bad off enough to the point where they need to start taking free-to-play stuff, but we don't know, man. I mean, these are huge companies with thousands and thousands of people that lots of money from them every year. So yeah,
it's a very rip the Band-Aid situation off, I feel. And they definitely ripped the Band-Aid off. And sure, people are going to be upset, and people are upset about it. But in a month's
they made over
time,
$1 billion last year. Is that public?
I don't.
$1 billion
Yeah, something like
profit?
that. They're insane in terms of actual profit. I don't know. I don't know the number off the top of my head, but yeah, let's see.
That does seem like a lot of money.
Yeah.
It does seem like a lot of money. If it's the kind of thing where they were public about making $1.2 billion last year, it's real tough to then sell. Our company is not making enough money in any degree. I wasn't aware they were public with that number. That kind of does change things a little bit. In fact, if anything, I think they should have been more transparent about exactly why that feature needed to go when they made $1.2 billion last year.
Right.
That is a discrepancy and that understandably makes people.
Yeah.
So Riot recently also laid off a bunch of experienced character design artists to apparently rehire new and cheaper ones. Is that also a big thing? Oh, Lord,
Well,
man.
I know that skin quality has been a conversation in that game for quite some time.
Skin quality.
Yeah, the quality of the skins. That
Yeah,
they're
oh no,
putting
just
out.
they're
Yeah.
not good.
Yeah, that people were a little bit upset. And then there was the drama of the $500 RE skin a couple months back. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff around all of that. That's a lot of that stuff I honestly just don't know about anymore. So
Some longer
Can't speak to
term
it.
Riot people that have been following this a lot closer than me over the years. The whole situation was actually caused by Riot themselves. They started releasing gacha skins and $2 to $3 premium skins, and the quality wasn't equal to the $25 skins they released years ago. It wasn't the chest losing the money, it's the bad quality and the style of the new skins. So maybe this is more of like a, I was thinking this was more of a like red alert, we need to do something kind of thing, but it sounds like this is something that's been potentially coming for a while.
Cohh, I don't think Zeke or Dodger would have done this, but did you sign up for the Battlefield Labs?
They
Monday?
can talk to me when they announce 2143, and that's pretty much it.
The Battlefield Labs was announced on Monday. It is, quote, their most ambitious community development collaboration ever. It's an opportunity to provide feedback, validate the future of Battlefield, and have a direct and lasting impact on the next generation of Battlefield games.
The part about this that is hilarious is, first of all, they're basically bringing in something that you would have a paid position for,
right?
Or pay people to do, including testing and that kind of stuff. And then the other thing is, I love how they call this the most ambitious thing, but probably one of the only reasons they're doing this is because of how poorly received the previous ones have been. So it's kind of like, will you please tell us how to do this properly? We've put this program together for you. Tell us what we need to give you, because clearly we aren't doing it properly. Well, what if you please step up and tell us how to do this?
No, that's, I mean, 100%. That's exactly what it is.
The only thing I really don't like about it is how they're very much floating this to us like, oh, this is a huge benefit to us. But everyone who signs up for that should understand we wouldn't need this. We wouldn't have a Battlefield Labs if 2042 was a good game. So it's like and again, all the stuff that people are going to be doing for them, yeah, it's kind of cool that you're adding in, but all this stuff they could have had in the past, you know, for free, if they had listened to their communities, they were doing this stuff. So I don't know, like, you just have to you have to think about why they're doing things like this, especially when it comes from a company like EA. This kind of thing from a company, Larian, would hit different. But when it's like a company that's EA, like where you know they've had access to everything they're going to get from this, they just kind of decided not to listen to it. That's very different. That's different.
Yeah,
it just hits different.
I can't refute what you're saying. Absolutely.
The difference between when you look at the company, do you think that they're actually going to listen to what you're saying?
Or are they just trying to make you feel listened to? And they're just going to keep doing whatever they're going to do.
They're trying to be like, look, we got gamers just like you involved in the development process.
And then the entire Battlefield Labs is just them testing monetization to see how far they can push it. Like that's that. I can entirely seeing that kind of thing.
Yeah, that would be shitty.
Yeah.
4 different studios, each one of those studios working on a different aspect of Battlefield.
I have to say, in an age of like people getting more and more adverse to AAA and, you know, things like Concord and Sony messing up all over the place, I don't really see like we have multiple studios working on this single game. I don't see that as a plus. Like that just makes that, I instantly think, too many cooks, like, I mean, too many resources. That game's going to be expensive. Like, we're still talking about a video game. I mean, why do you need 4 studios working on a video, like a single
Larian's
game?
Got 7.
But I mean, this is a Battlefield game. They're going to make the same freaking game they have the last 30 times. Like, why do you need this? They're not doing anything different here.
Yeah. I mean, Call of Duty has 4.
BG3 needed 7. Yeah, BG3 also made the first big CRPG in 20 years.
Sure,
it's like
it was a different.
And even then, their 7 studios were probably a lot smaller than probably one of those EA studios.
Cohh, you mentioned Avowed coming out. There's a Min-Max MINNMAX interview that Carrie did. It's 175 rapid fire questions about Avowed.
What? 175?
Yes, it is a fantastic fucking interview. It is like one of the better game dev interviews I've seen in a very long time. They're just rapid firing questions at her. And there was a lot of great information that came out of there. There's no level scaling in the game. That was one of the big things. So if you out level an area and come back, you'll be able just to like fucking stomp it.
Beautiful. I love that.
Which I'm super down for that. Oh yeah, there's no New Game Plus. That was a big thing that came out of it. Bunch of different stuff there. We're gonna have Carrie on next week. King Gathalion and Dan's Gaming are gonna be joining us to do that interview, but she'll be joining us for about an hour. And I think at that point, since the game comes out on the 13th, we'll have all played it for at least 2 or 3 days. So we'll be asking her those post game session questions, I would assume. And it's also gonna be right before release for them. The full release for the game is the 18th. Just go Google it if you want some more information on Avowed. It's MINNMAX with Avowed game director Carrie. PlayStation Network was down for like 20 hours this weekend. I don't think they even came out and said why or what exactly was the reason for it being down. But a lot of people were pissed because they couldn't play the Monster Hunter beta.
Right, because the beta is like just ended or is ending.
It ends in 10 hours. At least they're going to be able to get some time in there. But a little upset about that. I think it was down for 20 hours straight. And I don't know if they ever gave. They said it was an online breach, but they didn't say anything else.
They said it was a breach. They said they had to take it down as like precautionary measures. I think they need to see the extent of the breach. They did say that there was no information, no credit information or like cards or stuff.
We're also getting.
And then wait. I couldn't tell if this was a joke about Concord.
Yes, I saw that and thought it was real too, dude.
I thought it was real too. I was like, there's no way.
Yeah.
Like, basically what it was is that it looked exactly like a PlayStation tweet as a screenshot. And at the very bottom, it was like, we'd also like to apologize because everyone's account has had a copy of Concord added to it on your main menu. We will be rectifying this shortly.
Yeah. I thought it was absolutely real. That would be hilarious if that was the entire reason why they didn't bring it back up after 20 hours. maybe there's a word out there where it did happen. Chad also said they Capcom extended the beta for another day, which is great. So if you want to get your Arkveld kills in before it shuts down, you have the ability to do so with a little bit more time, which is great. Steam made a good update, not the biggest news, but when you now go and look at a Steam early access game, and this is, well, I guess all four of us really played a lot of early access, it will now warn you if it hasn't been updated recently. So it'll actually tell you last time they updated the game.
That's really nice.
Yeah, so you can know if you're going to buy a game.
In fact,
honestly,
coming out. Every game with EA should have under the purchase the last date that an update went out.
Yeah, it's a fantastic change. This is what
I just started playing a game with my boys last night, and one of the first questions I had was like, when is the last time this was updated? And it took me like solid 30 seconds of clicking around and trying to figure it out and lining up dates and stuff. It would be real nice to have that information more right up there. The game was Necess, by the way. Cool game.
Necess? What was it?
Started playing with my kids last night. Necess. Yeah, it's come a long way since I did it. It's a super cool, like, top-down Terraria kind of game. It's
all right. I wish they kind of did this for, honestly, like all games, even outside of early access games. That would be kind of cool, specifically with how many like games as a service we have out there, or games that say they are a game as a service. I hope this is the start of many.